Hello and welcome back to Simple-ESL. Today we are looking at phone calls. This is business English, so all you people working in the office wanting to practice your English, pick up the phone, here we go. So we have the vocabulary help sheet. That is available in the description below. Let's go through a little bit of that vocabulary. So as I said, we're looking at useful vocabulary for phone conversations. We have on hold. What does on hold mean? Does anybody know? It's something I hate, being on hold, with the music playing. Do, 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 do. On hold is an adjective. It means waiting to be connected. So if you're on hold, you're there, you're waiting to be connected. So our next word, to transfer. What are we doing? So it's a verb. To transfer. Any ideas? So it'd be moving one thing to another thing. So it's a verb for moving call from one person to another person. So you ring up, the receptionist picks up, hello, Simple-ESL. And then you would say who you want and they will transfer you through to that person. So, to transfer, it's a verb moving the call from one person to another person. Voicemail. Now this is voice, talking, voice. Mail, like a letter maybe. Voicemail. It's a noun meaning system that records an audio message. So it is a recorded audio message. Your phone will often have, your mobile will have voicemail. You can pick up the message and listen. What else do we have? We have line. This sounds a very old term really, a line. So it's connecting the phone to the wall, to the main line. So it's a noun, it's a telephone connection. Conference call. This is definitely a business term, conference call. Let's have a look at the picture. Has anyone ever been on a conference call? It's a noun meaning a phone call with many people at the same time. So this is often in a business setting. As you can see, they're sat around the meeting table and they're talking to their colleague who isn't in the same room. It's a phone call with many people. Busy signal. So you're on the phone, you ring and you get a... What does that mean? It's a noun, once again, and it's a sound indicating that the telephone line, or the person on the other end, is busy. The telephone line is in use. So it's a busy signal. Could also be a busy tone, but a busy signal. One thing that is always prevalent in business is the use of idioms. In English, as with many other languages, we love the use of idioms. So let's have a look at these idioms and phrases related to phone calls and business. So idioms, as I said, are useful phrases, often in a person's language, that don't always make sense on the surface. Maybe they have another meaning beyond the obvious. So to get hold of someone, that would, in the literal, mean grab someone, get hold of them. But if we're talking about phone calls, what do we mean by get hold of someone? To get hold of someone would be to communicate with someone, often by phone. So if you're ringing a company, your order, your delivery hasn't arrived, you're ringing someone up, you're trying to get hold of someone. So, to play phone tag, what do we mean by this? To play phone tag. Well, a popular game with children is tag, where you run up, tag, you're it, tag. So to play phone tag, it's when you try to phone someone, but you miss each other several times. So every time you ring someone, they don't pick up, you hang up, you go off and do something else. When you come back, you see a missed call on your phone or a voicemail on your phone. You've missed them again. It's phone tag. So to play phone tag. To keep someone posted. What could we mean by keeping someone posted? Has anyone heard this phrase before? I will keep you posted. So to keep someone updated with the most current information. So to keep someone updated with the latest news, the latest information. So if I was in a meeting, after the meeting, you could ask me about stuff and I'll keep you posted with the information from the meeting. So these are some idioms and phrases you might hear, especially in English. I'll keep you posted. It's a useful idiom, as are all these phrases, and are frequently used. Let's have a look at some tips when it comes to making a phone call in a business setting. So as I said, phone calls can be tricky, and here are some useful tips. You should start by introducing yourself. So how would we do this in English? Hello, my name is Will. Hello, this is Will. This is a good example. Hello, this is Will from Simple-ESL. Hello, this is Will from Simple-ESL. If you're leaving a voicemail, this is what you would say. Hello, this is Will. Well, they now know what to call me, but they may know lots of Wills from Simple-ESL. There is only one. You should try to speak slowly and clearly. If we're talking to someone on the phone, we don't have the benefit of seeing mouth and hand movements. It can be difficult to pick up on tone. So speaking slowly and clearly can help. And we can try to use a friendly tone. If you're smiling as you're talking, it sounds happier, to put the other person at ease. It's odd to talk to someone and not be able to see them. So speak slowly and clearly, and friendly tone to put the person at ease. But let's have a look at some vocabulary to do with phone conversations in a business setting in English. So we're going to do a little bit of an exercise here, a bit of practice with the vocabulary. So, clarify, keep someone posted, interrupt, transfer. Here we have some examples or synonyms for these phrases. So, I'll give you an example. To clarify, we want something similar or the same as clarify. So from the options, can you see any? I think clear up. To clarify, to clear up. I'm not sure on this. Allow me to clear up. Or to clear that up. Can we see any others for clarify? Want to clarify, make something clear. Maybe you could talk more about the thing. You could explain. You could explain your point. Allow me to explain. Allow me to clarify. So keep someone posted. We spoke about this in idioms. Keeping someone posted, keeping someone up to date. Can we see something that's the same as keeping someone posted? Have you found one? How about brief? So brief could mean short, but it could also mean to keep someone updated, to give someone new information. Let me brief you on that. So you could brief someone. Is there anything else? I think there's a second one for keeping someone posted. I think I said it in my explanation. Did you get it? It's update, to update someone. So, interrupt. That would be to cut in and stop someone in the middle of their thing. So if I was talking to you and then you cut across. So, we're looking at something that cuts, stops me in my tracks. To cut off, to interrupt. That leaves one option for transfer. So transfer, to pass on. We already know this is to put someone in contact with someone else, to pass them on. Let's have a little look at some of the grammar. Now we've had this introduction to vocabulary, I think it'd be a good time for a grammar review. Modal verbs, I think this would be interesting. Does anyone know what modal verbs are? What are modal verbs? What do I mean by this? So modal verbs are used with other verbs to add meaning. They can serve many purposes. Let me show you some examples. Possibility. So what are some modal verbs that can explain possibility? They may call us for details. So may is the modal verb, it's doing something. It's the possibility. They may call us for details. They also might not. And there's another, might. The client might return our call. They might not. There's a possibility. It could happen. It could not happen. So there's an example of how modal verbs can be used to explain possibility. What about probability? The difference between possibility and probability. Probability is how likely a thing is to happen. If it's probable, it should happen. And there's one there. Video conference should be over any minute now. They should be finished with their video conference soon. Should. Not 100%, but they should be. It's a good chance. They must be away from their phone. Almost certain that they are not picking up their phone because they are far away. But not 100%. They must be away from their phone. So probability, modal verbs there, should and must. What about ability? Someone who has the ability to do things that they can do. So she can speak 3 languages. Hopefully, one of them will be English by the end of this lesson. She can speak 3 languages. Really impressive. We could also say could. Our boss could schedule a call. The boss has the ability to call us. The boss could schedule a call. Permission. So permission, you're asking to do something. If you're allowed to do a thing. So what about may? May I ask who is calling? Hello, Simple-ESL. May I ask who is calling? Hello, my name is... And then the company. May I ask who is calling? What if we're too busy for a meeting? We want to postpone the meeting. How would we ask if we could postpone the meeting? Well, there you go. Could postpone our meeting. We could postpone our meeting. So there's one for permission. Necessity is a thing that has to happen. It has to. So you must call them back. You have to call them back. He had to leave early. He had an important appointment, he had another meeting, he had to leave early. This is a necessary thing. It has to happen. Now, requests. These are the things that you would like to happen. And you're asking if they could. So, if I'm leaving a message with someone, I've called someone up, you could ask, will you take my messages? And you can leave your message. Or, would you get his phone number? You want someone's number, you know they're going to call. Would you get his number for me, please? I can call him back. Would you? Will and would, great modal verbs for requests. So, modal verbs, we often use them when we want to ask questions. Useful, especially for asking questions when we're on the phone, especially when making requests, asking for things. If we're calling someone, we're usually asking for something. So modal verbs, fantastic for making requests. Let's have a look how we might build sentences with modal verbs. You can see the examples there. Can, could, may, might, must, will, would, should. And here are some actions that could come afterwards. Take a message, leave a message, repeat that, who is calling, hold please, and then that annoying music, speak up, and help. So, let's play around with this. Get over there, get out the way. I'll give you an example. How may I help you? How may I help you? If you're having trouble hearing someone, can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that, please? So you can see how we're building the sentences, and I would like for you to try to make your own sentences. Can you make any other sentences using these modal verbs and these little phrases? Useful things that you could be doing on the phone. So, can you make any other sentences? If you can, put them in the comments section below. And we can see what sentences you have created using modal verbs. And as we're doing group work here in the comment section, why don't we talk about conference calls? So conference calls can be difficult. It's lots of people on one phone call, and it's useful if workers are in different locations. So during the pandemic, I'm sure many people were working from home. Conference calls were great to keep in contact with your colleagues, but they have their own issues. How are conference calls different to your normal phone call? And have you ever made a conference call? You could say in the comment section below, conference calls are different because of the number of people. Let's get that out of the way. So most conference calls will begin with introductions. We do this because there are so many people in one conversation. So how would you introduce yourself? We did an introduction on the phone earlier. Hello, my name is. Hello, I am Will. And you could say your department. I am Will from accounting. I am Will from I'm just going to cut in here, get out the way. We're going to go over clarifying and input and interrupting. So we're going to read each phrase and decide if they are used to clarify or to interrupt. So clarify, want to double check something. Interrupt, we want to stop the person and say our thing. So, mind if I jump in there? Can I stop you there? Could you repeat that? Could you explain that again? I would like to add something. So, mind if I jump in there? Is this to clarify, to double check something? Or is it to interrupt, to stop the person from talking? Mind if I jump in there? Well, that's stopping the person, isn't it? So it would be to interrupt. And if we're trying to stop someone, can I stop you there? If stopping is interrupting, then that is also interrupting. Now, if you didn't catch something, you want to hear it again. You want to clarify by hearing again. Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that? What about the next one? Could you explain that again? I think, yeah, to clarify. Could you explain that again? Can you repeat it? Can you say it again? I would like to add something. Now, is this to clarify or to interrupt? In my opinion, it's to interrupt. You are stopping the person to say your thing. I would like to add something. But the thing you're adding could clarify things for other people. So from someone else, it could be clarifying. But we are interrupting. I would like to add something. To complete the sentences, we're going to do a bit of a gap fill exercise here. We have busy signal, boop, 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 voicemail, picking up your voicemail, transfer, conference call, and line. So he didn't answer, so I left A. He didn't answer, so I left A. What would we leave? A voicemail. You leave a message. I left a voicemail. We have A tonight with the board of directors. So what could we have with a group of people? It's a group, the board of directors. Plural, directors. Well, there's only one thing there for a group. Conference call. We have a conference call tonight with the board of directors. I have called 3 times and all I get is a boop, boop. You know this. It's a busy signal. The person is busy. All I get is a busy signal. Please stay on the... What are we on? If we're calling someone, what are we on? On the line. I will transfer you. Must be transfers, the last one. Stay on the line. I will transfer you to the person you want to speak to. So let's have a little look at the recap. In this lesson, we have looked at modal verbs, phone calls and conference calls, and vocabulary about phone calls. So we can take this information and we can make phone calls in English in a business setting. But here's a little added extra. If you can't get through to the person and you have to leave a voicemail, you have to leave a message, what would be the structure? You'd start with a greeting. Hi, my name is from, so hi, it's Will from Simple-ESL. The reason you're calling, I'm calling because I would like to book a meeting. I would like to speak in person. What should they do with the message when they get it? Do they need to call you back? Please call me back when you get a chance. But if they're going to call you back, how can they reach you? My phone number is, don't say it out loud, don't want people calling. How can they reach you? My phone number is, and then sign off in a polite way. Thanks, have a great day. Thank you, have a nice day. And that's how we're going to sign off here. Thank you for watching the video. I'm so happy to be back. Don't forget to check out my Preply link, 30% off in the description, and also my tutoring page where we can have one-on-one lessons and I can build a teaching plan around your goals. But we're going to leave it here. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Have a lovely day. Take care.